So what were how did you find yourself acting when you got like an inflated ego from the gym, or you felt a bit, I don't know if this is the right word, but self-obsessed, or like or
Mm.
just like superior to other people. What sort of like patterns of behavior did you find yourself doing, and how did it make you feel?
For me, I was very aware for the last year and a half of the ego. There was that shift. I had a shift in consciousness which happened about a year and a half ago, about 30 pages into this book called The Power of Now, which we're going to talk about in the next podcast. And since then, reducing my ego has been at the forefront of my mind. So even when I felt these feelings of superiority and inferiority and stuff like that, I didn't let it affect me too
You
much
didn't
because
let
I
it
was aware of
seep
it.
into your
No, no,
behavior.
no, no. It was more.
Yeah.
I was very aware of it, and it was occasionally I'd say something or find or be aware of my mind's patterns and what it was saying that I
That's
wasn't
it, isn't
happy
it?
with.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? It's self awareness, and being fully aware of your thoughts and actions, and once you're aware of them and you can see them for what they really are, you can interrupt them and almost stop them. It might take a few weeks, might take a couple of days, but you can interrupt these things. It's when you're unconscious of these underlying processes which are actually negative in your life that they carry on seeping and influencing your behavior. But again, like, I don't want to get into this too much because we want to talk about this in the next podcast, and we could go on for hours
Yeah,
about
for
this.
sure.
But
So I'll just say in answer to your question, I think it's more things like you don't realize it, but it affects the way you interact with people slightly because instead of giving someone your absolute utmost attention, there might be a little bit reserved on you're thinking more about how you're appearing to them and how you're feeling, and you're so conscious of these narcissistic ideas about how you're coming across to others rather than giving that person your alert attention.
and it's everyone. I find everyone is so. When people get nervous, like socially anxious in situations, everyone's experiencing that same thing. Everyone only really cares about themselves and what other people think. And so when you're having these thoughts, well, what do these people think about me? These people aren't thinking, oh, he just said that in a weird way. What a dickhead! I now don't like him. They're having exactly the same thoughts. Just a ball of like social anxiousness,
Yes.
just working together and no one's talking. Like,
And it's such a
yeah,
shame
and
because I've
and
been
that's what. Sorry, that's what I mean about getting into being self-aware. And when you can be self-aware of even anxiousness, you can see it for what it really is and just a brain state, and then you can work yourself out of it. Sorry, go on.
No, I was just gonna say when you drop those, when you can take your attention away from yourself, and one of the ways that I found improved my capacity to do that was not stopping going to the gym. You can give someone your alert attention and be there as a presence and interact with someone for them, not for you. You're genuinely interested in what they're saying, them as a person, and that's true love when you can interact with a person in that way without all these narcissistic ideas going on inside your head and focusing on yourself, and that is ultimately my goal in life, really, to be able to reach a point where that is my predominant state.